Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a cork cord bracelet with a curved Nunn design leaf link. Now these leaf links are actually really cool, so they're already pre-curved for you, so they actually sit really nicely on top of the wrist. So I just thought this was going to be such a great design to use for a bracelet. So this is the design here, and you can see we have the antiqued gold, and then we have two other finishes. We have the antiqued silver, and we have a beautiful antiqued copper. Now just an added little tip, if you wanted to add a little extra embellishment to this, I believe the vintage patina would look really great on these little leaves. But I'm going to keep it simple for today, and I'm just going to show you the basic technique to create a really nice bracelet. So I'm going to be using that braided cork cord. Now this is Regaliz cord, and I'm going to be using a couple little end caps there. And I have a magnetic clasp. And then I have some beautiful Nunn design jump rings here, so I'm going to be utilizing those as well. So the only tools that you're going to need is we're going to need a little glue, we're going to need a little E6000. I have my special cutters to help me with those Regaliz. And I have a pair of flush cutters, a bent nose plier, and a chain nose plier. And last but not least, I'm going to bring in a couple little toothpicks, and I have my little pad here just because I want to protect my work surface. So if you have everything ready to go, let's go ahead and get started. So this is really simple, guys. I have about 5 inches of the cord here, and you can actually see that I've already marked my little halfway point, so I have 2.5 inches on either side. So I'm just going to come in with my little special cutters here, and what I want to do is just line up that little mark right in the center, making sure it is good to go. There we go. And go ahead and press and just cut that apart. Now the reason you'll need those special cutters is because you can see that there's a little tube inside. It's a little plastic core. Now we've used this before to put this on memory wire, which is a great little tip, but you don't want to use your flush cutters on this because it might kind of tear and chew through some of that cord, and we don't want that to happen. All right, so I have my 2 pieces of my cord here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set that in the center, have my end caps here, and my piece at the back. So before I get started on gluing everything together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to take these little jump rings here, and I have my bent chain nose, and they're a little open, but I'm just going to twist to open them a little bit further there. Hook it onto my leaf, and hook on one end. All right, I'm just getting that in my pliers nice and secure, and I just want to close that up, getting a nice good closure. All right, so that's one side, so I'm just going to repeat with the other side here. This one's already a little bit further open, but I'm just going to open him a little bit more. Slip that on, and slip this onto the other side. And close that up. Nice, good closure. Okay, so the reason I do this step first is because you'll notice that these have a natural curve to them, and it's just sort of how they're designed. So what I want to do is when I'm looking at this and lining it up, you'll notice that I have the holes that are sort of facing one way and that jump ring that's facing the other way. So when I place this into the hole, I want it to continue to kind of curve around the side. I don't want it to be up like that, because then your bracelet won't sit necessarily right. So we want to make sure that when we're gluing it so that it's going around the curve of the bracelet. So it's going to look like that on one side. And again, you just want to kind of eyeball it there. And like that on the other. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to glue in our magnetic clasp, and I'm going to go ahead and separate that. All right, so let's take our E6000, and we're going to want a good little amount here, so I'm just going to get a nice dollop on my page. There we go. All right, so now taking my toothpick, I'm just going to get a nice dollop down in there and just kind of swirl it around. We want to get a nice secure gluing there. All right. And just taking up all my little extra strings there. There we go. All right, so again, just sort of lining it up for myself and making sure that that's going to sit nice and secure inside. There we go, just checking my alignment. All right, so now I'm just going to repeat on the other side here. Getting a nice dollop of glue in there. All right. And same thing on this side. I'm just sort of peering down at my alignment, making sure everything is the way I'd want it to be. There we go, just holding it for a second. Okay. Now, because this is a 360 clasp, it doesn't matter how you put it onto the ends. So I'm going to need a little bit more glue here. There we go. Always make sure to close up your glue in between opening it. We don't want it to dry out, because you can see that it does dry fairly quickly. Although we do recommend at least 24 hours before trying to wear your design. We just want to make sure that glue has time to create a nice strong bond. All right, I'm going to attach the magnetic clasps to one side here. There we go. Alrighty, and onto the other side. And this is a really simple design. We do have other colors of the cork cord. We do have a really beautiful natural color. We also do have some great colors. We have some oranges and teals and pinks. So if you're intrigued by that, be sure to head over to Beadaholique.com and you can shop all of the Regaliz cork cord. You can do it easily just by searching our braided cork cord. All right, so this is our finished design here. And I do want to give you a little tip. Make sure to let it dry unattached so that that glue doesn't have any chance of seeping through those ends. But how it's going to look when it's done is going to be just like that. And I don't want to bend it too much, but it will bend. There we go. So this is our finished design, but remember to let it dry fully and make sure all those pieces are nice and secure in our little ends. So that is how easy it is to create a nice little braided cork cord with that beautiful curved Nunn design leaf link. You can get all of these supplies and see even more tutorial videos by heading over to Beadaholique.com.